If you own the GoPro Hero 11 Black and your images and video look like this, you're gonna wanna pay attention. Hey, what's going on, guys? Jimmy here with the General Expert, and today I'm talking about the GoPro Hero 11 Black, even though this in my hand is the 10. And what I wanna talk about is the fact that I just had to return my 11. Yes, I just had to return that 11. It's currently en route to GoPro. I went through the entire process of talking to their, chat support system, which the guy was really friendly. Basically had to prove the issues that I was having by sending them image samples and pictures and stuff like that. And the ultimate conclusion was that I had only purchased the Hero 11, I think it was like 14 or 15 days before. So he said, you're just gonna have to do a typical return because you have a 30-day, I guess, return policy on that. Basically what I'm doing is just returning that 11 and planning on repurchasing it. It was the idea that we came up with together because I told him, I was like, look, I just want to get this thing replaced, but the thing is I want to make sure it's replaced with a brand new unit and not a refurbished unit, which I know happens a lot, even though the 11's only been out for a few weeks. I didn't want to get some kind of, used unit because I paid for a new one and my new one wasn't working. Now, what was happening with it? Let me tell you. Well, like a lot of you, I went out and bought the Hero 11 because there was some pretty awesome specs that we had just learned about, which was 10-bit. I really wanted the 10-bit. I really wanted to see what it was like. I know 10-bit because the camera I'm shooting on now shoots in 10-bit, and it's great. So I went and bought the 11, and I've already made a few videos on it, which I will link below and in the cards above. I already had a video talking about the 10-bit. I already saw the benefits with that 11, and I've already shot, a decent amount of video comparing it versus my Hero 10. But overall, I've only had the Hero 11 for it was maybe a week or so that I actually had it in my hands filming with it. So I didn't really have a whole lot of time to just, in a relaxing manner, kind of mess with the camera. Really, the only experience I had so far was comparing it to the 10. And so I was paying very close attention only to certain aspects of the footage I was looking at. And one day I was looking at some of that footage and I noticed that the Hero 11 had this vertical streak whenever the sun was in the frame. It was just this white vertical streak that the Hero 11 was producing, and I had the Hero 10 on on the same plane filming at the same time in the same scene, and the Hero 10 did not produce that vertical white streak. So I did some more testing and figuring and trying to figure out, hey, what is this? Was the glass just dirty on this thing? Which I keep these spotless. I use microfiber towels. I always clean the lenses. I'm a stickler with cleaning lenses. So I knew that it wasn't just simply the glass being dirty. I started to consider maybe the glass on this little front lens cover was dirty on the inside. So I took that off, cleaned that. I looked very closely at the actual lens part underneath this protective glass, and I didn't see anything. There was nothing there. And I also filmed with the 11 with the protective lens cover off just to see if that made a difference, and it didn't. Anytime the sun was in the scene, we had these this single vertical line that basically spanned the entire frame. And it was essentially, it's unusable like that to me anyway. All right, just as a quick example, I'm giving you this extreme angle here. The sun's in the frame, I can see it on the screen there, and although it is blown out and probably white and all that around the sun, we're not getting any vertical lines that are, streaking across the frame. Right now, as you can tell, I'm filming with the GoPro Hero 10 Black, and I'll put that sun in the frame, and there it is, and you can see no vertical streaking. The sun is right there in frame, and there is no vertical streaking, which is good. And I might as well just keep filming with the 10 here. So what the streaking means, and I did a little bit of research online and it all made sense to me, but what the streaking means potentially is that there is some kind of greasy substance either on the sensor itself or on the lens system internally, so something that you can't clean off. It's internally, on one of the lenses, or like I said, potentially the sensor itself. Okay, just FYI, I'm still on the Hero 10, as you could probably tell. I'm actually using the narrow lens. I'm in 5.3K, bitrate high, flat color profile, sharpness set to medium, and the narrow lens. I've never used this lens before, but it says 27mm, which is very similar to what I was filming with here, which is 24mm on this A7S III. Anyways, so I started to compare the sharpness when I had the 11 and the 10 and the same footage side by side. And although I don't think there was really anything I could really certainly, like, decisively tell, they both looked extremely similar. I almost, as part of my imagination, started wondering if the 11 was ever, and I mean ever so slightly softer than the 10. But it could have just been in my imagination. You know what I mean? When it's so close, so not there that you just kind of go that there's just no difference. Now, did I see a difference in the sharpness of the 11? Probably, but was it really anything to write home about? No, I wouldn't consider that difference to be anything like detrimental to the image. The one thing that was detrimental to the image, though, was that streaking. I can't have an image, a camera, a sensor, I can't have a piece of equipment that produces a weird streak in frame when I'm using it. I'm not talking about sun flares. Sometimes those are beautiful. I'm talking about a streak, a grease streak, which is just not a professional look. And so therefore I decided, you know what, I gotta contact GoPro. I gotta talk to them about it. Maybe it's a known issue. Maybe we can work through this. Maybe they can just replace the camera. But in the end, like I said, the guy told me, hey, you're just gonna have to return it. That's the easiest way to do it. And so even though this video is all about that streaking, which if you have a GoPro Hero 11, you may want to do some tests. Put that sun in the frame and see if you can produce, streaking like I have had on mine when I had it. Now, just real quick, a couple of other things I did notice right away when I had the 11 was, that red LED that's right next to the rear screen? When you turn your camera on, that LED blinks a few times. I noticed that LED wasn't centered on the hole. It was really weird. I could see like the white part of the LED when it wasn't lit, and it was totally off-centered from that hole. So I thought, big deal. Like, the LED is not centered, not a big deal. The other part of that, though, is that on a few occasions, nothing again to be alarmed about, but now that I'm thinking about all this, on a few occasions, the rear screen was very finicky. And I know GoPro kind of is known for that, but my Hero 10 has a great rear screen. I never have any issues with it. But the 11, there was a couple times where I'm like, why is the screen not reacting or acting in that way when I'm not doing that? It was very, very odd. And with my 10, I have never had an issue with having to shut it off, pull the battery, which I know GoPros are notorious for. With the 11, I did have that issue. And I'm telling you, I had the camera for all of, a week in my possession? So there was just a few things, including and mostly that streaking, that led me to, hey, I may have got a lemon here. Just out of complete randomness, I got a lemon. I need to send this thing back and get a new one. So I gotta tell you, right now, the GoPro is packaged very well. I made sure to take pictures of everything when I packaged it up because I didn't want it to get there in the box. I sent it back in the original box that my 11 came in, and I kept everything that came in the package. I put it in there. I followed the instructions exactly, took pictures just to make sure. I had UPS actually weigh it just so I had a weight on there in case anything mysteriously disappeared from the box. So we're still waiting to see what GoPro says once they receive my package, the returned camera. I verified and asked over and over if there was any sort of like restocking fee or anything that I was going to be charged for making the return. And the answer was absolutely not. You have 30 days, to make the return. So hopefully, I'm hoping that everything goes through nice and easy. and I should be returned the original price I paid, which was $399 for the GoPro and that little SD card and you know, all that. So we'll see if there's some kind of an issue, some kind of a problem with this return process. Expect me to be making a video on that. But as of right now, everything's going smoothly. GoPro tech support, you know, via chat was very nice. Helped me out, answered every single question. We basically came to the same conclusions. I totally understand them wanting me to send, you know, image samples and examples of what I was experiencing. But as long as this return goes through and they refund me the money that I paid for the camera and I can use that to then purchase another one, I'm gonna be a happy camper. Right now, I'm a happy camper with my 10. I never had any qualms with the 10, and I felt like this 10 was a really good camera. I still do. I still think the 10 is fantastic. Now, here's the thing with the 10 versus the 11, and this is a little extra content here. We're going above and beyond what this video is about. The 10 has, what was it called, the GP2 processor? Yeah, that's the same processor in the 11. The Hero 10 is the 10 and should have had 10-bit. It should have had 10-bit. We have the same processor as in the 11. Why on earth can't we get 10-bit? GoPro, please give us a firmware update, just like DJI is gonna do with their Osmo Action 3. Is Osmo in that name? Give us 10-bit on the 10 GoPro, come on. Give us 10-bit, and maybe with the 11, to differentiate that, you need to put some better, you know, color profiles and stuff in there. You know, maybe shoot RAW on the 11 or something like that. But on this 10, we need 10-bit. Give us a firmware update. There's plenty of us who are still rocking the 10, who are still gonna be using the 10, needing the 10 as a B camera, backup camera, whatever, and we need 10-bit. Give us 10-bit on the 10 GoPro if you're watching this, which I doubt you are. But anyways, all right guys, I thought I'd let you be known. There's not much out for problems and issues with the Hero 11, and I was the unlucky dude who bought a lemon 11. So if that helps you guys, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If it doesn't help you guys, also hit that thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. It helps this video and the channel. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. If you are watching this far and you feel like it, you can subscribe. It's down below, the little red button. You know the drill. All right, guys, I am Jimmy for The General Expert here on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one.